Then it is concerning the basis of their path, Mahayana's path. And of course, the Mahayana, we divided the two. And the Mahayana, which is the causal teaching of the characteristics or something. There's how to say it in English. Oh, and then it's the mentor Mahayana's, and therefore, and first is very important concerning about the view, and concerning the basis of their path, how they determine the views, determine the view. And determined view means it's like they like kind of the precisely realize that the reality of the phenomena. They determine, English this means determined means then reality is really determinedly like this, they decisively. That they have the view idea, the phenomena, how it is. If we speak in the terms of the philosophical tenets and philosophical tenets, into the like a kind of the term of the philosophical tenets, philosophical tenets in the perspective of the philosophical. Like philosophical, it is like a kind of very much analysis and debate, argumentation, and more clarifier. And also in the Buddha's teachings, it's like kind of talking about the valid cognize or the valid cognitions. And there's syllogism. Syllogism is according to the syllogisms, and you analyze any kind of the phenomena to establish what is the determine the meaning of the any kind of the phenomena. And in this perspective, in the term of the philosophical tenets, and establish the external phenomena, how it is, where it's come from, where it's abiding, where it's going, maybe where come from. Where abiding means in the past where they are come from, in the presently where they are abiding, in the future where they are going. Like this kind of, like the terms of the philosophical tenets, and then they establish the really the relative realities, relative things. We have the external like environment, in like kind of there is like a limitless sentient beings, and like a kind of the cosmological perspective, there is the trillions limitless solar systems, and the sun, moon, and the earth, and you're talking about a lot of phenomena. And also there are the countless mind. And all these are in the relative these phenomena, like varieties, kind of the multiply phenomena there is. Shape, color, dimension, like entity or no entity, or like kind of the mind, matter, these things. And this kind of, we need to analyze. The terms of the philosophical tenets, And they are not kind of the someone says phenomena is come from that. Maybe I can say this phenomena is come from earth. Then it's like the terms of philosophical tenets, they don't accept immediately. It's really, they need proof, they need logical, they need like kind of the relevant, really like determined. It's like kind of the proof they needed. Without that, impossible. And also is the mind. When we talking about mind, my meaning is like a kind of phenomenon, means externally this like whatever expressions exist by the five elements, maybe according the earth expression, wind expression, water expressions. These five elements produce so many different phenomena. But if we can to analyze one phenomena, and we understood that to analyze through the terms of the philosophical tenets, and then you can to understand almost everything. This Guru Rinpoche says like you understand the single, this the main point that you understand everything, many things. You understand many things, but if you don't understand the single main point, so you understand many things, it doesn't much benefit. It's nothing, it's like kind of the liberated. But you understand a lot of phenomena, contractions, and it's like kind of the analysis, any kind of minerals, gas or solars and earth, and physically, or the like kind of the maths perspective. But the main crucial point do not understand, you are never liberated. And maybe it's like you understand the principal crucial point, and it's make liberation your mind. Maybe it's like kind of you become omniscient. Maybe it's like easily to understand others. Like therefore, terms of the philosophical tenets, the approach of the mind only is to start that out objects are not real, and all phenomena are but the inner mind, and to claim that the self-aware, the self-aware, the self-awareness or the self-knowing consciousness, and like kind of this is the in the suttas perspective, Suttayanas, Mahayanas schools. Of course, we call the Mahayana school, and there inside also we have classifications, and Chittametta class, Madhyamikas class. There's two kind of the classes, and of course, if you go to deeply, you know the Chittametta class. There is a three type of the Chittametta class, and that's you know that in the I think in the Ausheda books also a little bit. And also it's like another book can you find, okay, it is like Chittametta divided. There is the three classes, how they are kind of the established. They're like common Chittametta's classes, how they have the established, like the view is the self-aware, self-knowing. Self-knowing, it is the truly existence. This self-aware of that is not the same as the Shavaka Pachika Buddhas. Why? It's like this self-aware is the between of the object and the subject. That's it. It's the self-aware. It is not belong the object, not belong the subject. For example, according to Shavaka's perspective, and the self-aware is not under the partless particles, and also the self-aware is not in the indivisible moment of the consciousness. But between there is the self-aware of is kind of existence, luminosity, self-knowing consciousness. And this one is like devoid of the dualistic perception, is truly real. That's the main point, is that. And not is like belonging the object or the subject. And it's according to the kind of the, how do you say, and the Pachika Buddhas, it's also it's not object of the phenomena, it's not subject of the consciousness, the mind. Even there's nothing kind of the existence, the indivisible, the mind of the consciousness. But between there is kind of the self-aware. There is many examples. Battle lamp. Battle lamp is the self-luminosity. Battle lamp is this lamp, this luminosity is not depends on any others. Is this the luminosity itself is like that. Therefore, self-knower, self kind of the awareness, aware, this consciousness. This consciousness is like kind of the avoided of the dualistic, means it's object or subject perception. Is like a kind of avoided, nothing kind of connected. This kind of the self-awareness truly real, then is the problems there is. You can't offer something truly real. And ultimately, this is many times there's a like a kind of luminosity. There is something. This one is intractable, inconceivable, but it is the emptiness. But their perspective, it is the luminosity. Lasso and like this, but I think it's the time is not existing time running. Maybe it's good. I'm up, yep. Maybe we can to study more tomorrow. Today maybe this the Sutayanas Mahayana is divided to. It is like a kind of the Chittamitas class, Madhyamikas class, and today you need to get the information, the like a kind of classification of the Chittamitas and the classification of the Madhyamikas, sensambas, mind only, mind. Then is the second one is the middle ways. There is two, sensampada omapas, sensam omatantanis. That is like the Mahayana. Both is the Mahayanas. But there's a class, school, different. Okay, now it's question.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Konsang asks, what does it mean, the vehicle of characteristics? Tsenni Jipa. Tekpa.
Okay. Characteristics, ndon senyit tepa sedu tombo lamjo toma ningo zonte tatu ngile zopu sonji jo kompo mato je pardala lam jeredo son jizi ka tap chat sonhi jeredo tanala di chat sonhi tomalu chen di senyit sensid semma tomayolere lam kununa hyandrun semma senhikun semma jeredo toma yopchani ndon senyit tepas tala jeredo di joy tepa segre ndon senyik tepa segre tandi said says like the characteristic means and the in the sutayanas if someone wants to be the enlightenment from the beginning until the enlightenment there is whatever you need any aspect of the tools and you have their existence. This is like characteristics. Like for example, we can use the characteristic of the refugee, bodhicitta, but just this like accumulations, creation, and like that's all these details, different the aspect of us there, and you do like this, then it's like it's a result is enlightenment. And sometimes like the vehicle of the characteristics, sometimes it's a causal vehicles. It's the same similarity. That.
Thank you. Hamako says, even I have only one body. How could I simultaneously grant many people's wishes according to their individual request? And I would like to become someone that can fulfill all beings' wishes by prayer. I mean, I just pray and everyone's wish will be fulfilled like that. How can I become like that?
Then prayer. If you pray, maybe you will become. At the moment, not yet, but maybe if your prayer enhance kindness, compassion, avoid dualistic mind, then sure you will become as your wish. Thank you.
Thank you. Volodya from St. Petersburg says, Dear Rinpoche, sometimes I have negative thoughts and I can more or less manage with them, but if they appear during special occasions like Dzogchen, when it's impossible to stop and have some time to deal with them, I cannot manage. What can I do to cope with malicious thoughts during Dzogchen?
Oh yes, this is everybody. Therefore we are on the path. Therefore we are follow the Buddha. Therefore we are taking part of Dharma. Therefore we taking refuge in the Sangha. Of course, everybody has this kind of malicious thoughts or any disturbing emotions. But you are very good because you understood that it's difficult. But slowly, it's like you have this notice into your mind. You have this mindfulness. Surely there is a progressive. Sometimes when you study or to do something at the beginning, a little enthusiastic. In the middle, sometimes you want to give up because it's like so difficult. But if you diligently do, then it's become very successful. Like therefore, it's quite good. This doesn't matter. That's all. Okay. Now we can to pray. Yes. And also, I give the information of the little bit. The Chittamita class and the Madhyamikas. And of course, it's like the Mahayanas, causal to the Sutayanas is like Mahayanas, the term of the philosophical tenets. There's a so analysis and very deep, and particularly in the syllogism perspective, we need a lot of argumentations. Direct valid cognition, indirect valid cognitions. That is like a kind of the. But anyway, the classification of the Chittamatas, Madhyamikas. Then we are roughly to slowly to understand the view, and much better we need to know, because it's a Chittamatas view, Madhyamika's view. It's a support based view. Is the same as the Mantrayana's view. And but a little bit, of course, there's different methods and like approach, but it's like it's very very important to get the information, both classification, each class, how they establish the view, and which kind of how they concern the phenomena. Phenomena is phenomena of the samsara nirvanas, and thinking about which is the source of these things. This is general point of the perspective of the philosophical tenets. Okay, lasso. Tarve gur ti thando me bavas